What, Michael? What does one drug cost?
$100,000? what does one drug cost, Michael? $100,000? The drugs are in the banana stand.
Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, your newbie, the rookie, the greenhorn, I don't know, Leif, what am I this year now that we're in season 4?
I'm not sure, but smoking a joint before we record definitely makes you a better soldier.
Well, I mean, to be fair, smoking a joint before pretty much anything I do is pretty much how I do it.
Fair enough.
So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching Gossip Girl since it first aired, and I'm tuning in for the first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo, bringing you all the gossip, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
Bring your magnifying glasses because each week we're dissecting every juicy detail of the show, one episode at a time. We'll connect the dots, uncover those sneaky little Easter eggs, and of course, serve up some piping hot behind-the-scenes tea. And expect some iconic Phantom moments too, because what's a deep dive without a little drama?
And since we are all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always a seat for you at our non-judging breakfast table. So go ahead and grab a mimosa, a cup of coffee, or find something in Nate's robe pocket, and we'll go ahead and get into this.
And we are here today to talk about Season 4, Episode 16, While You Weren't Sleeping. The original air date was February 21st, 2011, and based on the movie titled While You Were Sleeping. Have you seen it?
I feel like I either saw it or at least made fun of it. It was something that my mom would have loved, but I don't know if I watched it.
I have not. It was the 1995 film, which a subway clerk falls for a comatose man's brother, directed by John Turteltaub and starring Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman, as well as Peter Gallagher once again.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I saw it, and everything in the description is why, because I pretty much hate most of what you just said. I love Bill Pullman, but I'm not no disrespect to Sandra Bullock, but I don't tend to like the movies she's in after Speed. And just
I like some of her movies.
Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan.
Yeah.
And beyond that, this just sounds like everything especially in 1995, I would have hated everything about this.
This episode was written by Sarah Goodman, who's kind of sort of second in charge of the writers' room right now. And her previous episodes include, in season 2, The Wrath of Khan, where she came in with a bang there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then season 3, kind of some, I don't know how much this is her fault, and just the stories in the middle of the season kind of suck. She did How to Succeed in Bassness and The Hurt Locket, but then came back with Ex-Husbands and Wives, which was good. And then in season 4, she's done Double Identity, which was co-written with Joshua Safran, as well as The Witches of Bushwick,
which I believe were both also pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the beginning of this season was fantastic. So who knew that Juliet's departure would be the bellwether? Not this episode excluded. I think this one definitely stepped it up again.
And I think that's kind of about the people at the helm here. We got Sarah Goodman writing it, and of course, friend of the pod, directing, Norman Buckley.
Yes, and he's all over this. You know, you can really see the way that this story is just brought to life. It was just another powerhouse episode. So,
and I did reach out to Mr. Buckley, and he was kind enough to answer some questions for us. And here it goes right now.
I'm sorry. I'm just now seeing this. I'll just tell you that I was a fan of the Dan/Blair relationship because I thought, as you said, they had great timing and played very well off each other. This made me very, very unpopular on Twitter with the fans. I apologize for being late to responding. I've just been covered over with this show here in Victoria. Maybe another podcast?
Thank you for that, Norman. Thanks for taking some time out of your day.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and we love to hear your thoughts. So thank you very much.
Why don't you give us that Vulture recap?
Here we go. From the narrator's constant and inexplicable Rolling Stones references, has someone in the writer's room been reading Life? To the discombobulating spectacle of Blair and Dan's burgeoning chemistry, last night's episode of Gossip Girl made us feel at times like we were experiencing a temporary neurological disorder or having an ether flashback, considering the following dizzying piece of dialogue which occurred upon Blair's arrival at the Vander Bass Humphreys' 18th birthday party for Eric.
Blair, what were you thinking?
That I would arrive at this party and be greeted appropriately.
I know you only admitted you needed me so you could make me a drug mule.
That sticky note was meant for Penelope. Frankly, with her attitude, she could use some time behind bars.
So that's it? There's no I'm sorry, I could have gotten you arrested.
Well, you're here. The party's lovely. Everything obviously turned out fine.
Even if you already knew this, conversation was being conducted because Serena was mad at Blair for apparently accidentally sending Dan to retrieve a batch of coke-filled tulips that Eric said he'd retrieve for a drug dealer after said drug dealer threatened to expose Eric and Serena's mother for forging an affidavit that put Serena's ex-teacher, who is now her boyfriend, in prison for 3 years. The tone, at the very least, is confusing. Were the writers attempting to make the audience feel disoriented on par with sleep-deprived Blair? Or have they lost their minds entirely? By keeping the characters immutable and the story structure unrelenting and piling storylines on top of each other, are they actually attempting to make this show into a parody of itself? Only in the fullness of time, when historians and scholars have studied the Gossip Girl texts, will we truly know the answers to these questions. Something really poignant from that is, especially last week's episode, that it really was a caricature of itself. It almost was a parody of earlier that season.
Yeah. and also the Rolling Stones references in every single Gossip Girl narration of the episode.
Yeah. And it's funny, I caught some of them. I didn't even realize they were in all of them. So but I noticed especially the first one, but that is really funny that, yeah.
Well, we move into Act 1 and starting off with the Rolling Stones references right off the top. Mick, Keith, and their questionably costumed cohorts said you can't always get what you want, but that doesn't mean it's okay for anybody else to have it either.
Yeah.
Dan emerges out of his bedroom to see Ben and Serena flirting in the living room. Dan once again inadvertently blows Serena's attempts to chameleon with her new partner. Dan leaves to get coffee in Midtown. Ben thinks he's finally getting some alone time with her, but she has to go see her mom about Eric's 18th birthday. Ben refuses to go to Lily's even for the party.
Yeah.
Serena once again lying.
Yeah.
And Dan inadvertently blowing it up.
Yep. Well,
it's Aaron all over again.
Yeah. Oh, again, a recycled storyline here. And I do love that Dan had no fucks to give about Serena and Ben. The way that he was just like, I don't want to be around here. I'm not here to be like buddy and friendly. You live here. I'm out. I appreciated that.
But you can tell he does still have feelings for Serena.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and you can tell that his whole thing is staying out of the apartment all day before he ever admits it. Yeah. We can see that as an audience. I just mean that he's not playing pretend.
Yeah,
he's not pretending to be okay with this, which I like about Dan, because it's also disgusting and inappropriate.
Yes. Well, not according to the show, though.
Right. The morality of Gossip Girl.
At the penthouse, Eric is pretending to be sick to avoid a party. However, Rufus and Lily have no reason to doubt Eric's sincerity.
Yeah.
They're being nice to supportive parents.
Right. And Eric is seemingly sick.
Yeah.
And it's more of a setup scene than anything else.
At the Waldorf Apartments, Serena comes home to find Dorota dressing Blair while Blair multitasks. Serena is still concerned that Blair is working herself too hard to distract herself from Chuck and Raina. Blair once again denies, and the conversation shifts to Ben and Serena struggling to find some alone time. When Serena leaves, Blair uses a blast about Raina being up for the position she got turned down for at Girls Inc.
We see this competition with Raina brewing a little bit more. I do like how Serena snapped at the one point and was like, oh, I guess the good friend time is now over. But also how Blair's like, I've got 30 seconds to finish this conversation.
And also Serena, not only are you rich and have a trust fund, but your stepbrother owns a fucking hotel. If you really want to be alone with Ben, get a fucking hotel room.
Yeah, you could, yeah. What's Ben doing?
Hell, you can afford to rent your own apartment.
Yeah, yes. Why are you struggling to find alone time?
Plus, we know Blair isn't really at home at night. She's not sleeping.
Well, but that's actually what Serena said, is that her light is always on.
So it's okay if she's asleep. You can.
Yeah, it's fine if she's sleeping. Just keep it down.
Yeah. At the Empire, Chuck recruits Nate to help win Raina back.
This is a bad idea, Chuck.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea. Have you seen Nate? He's dreamy.
Yeah. Hey, you're telling him specifically to be charming.
Yeah. Hey, go charm this woman that I want to have fall back in love with me. And I mean, he does the work. Nate puts in the work for Chuck this episode.
He's super obvious about it, but yes.
Oh, yeah. He's totally obvious. I mean, you can't ask Nate to do something and expect subtlety.
At W, Blair is Skyping with the minions and assigns them all tasks since she can only be in one place at a time. After the Skype call ends, Blair is informed that all her interns transfer to different departments due to her management style. Just then, Dan walks in and Blair announces that her new intern has arrived.
I couldn't help but wonder if part of the decision to have the minions at the Waldorfs and not W was just for that Skype money. If it was just to throw in the Skype thing.
Probably.
I get why it also works to have her alone when Dan walks in, but I just thought, I had that thought of, are we separating them for this Skype call?
It also plays the minion just being dumb as well.
Yeah, well, yes, and especially really sets up for their screw-ups throughout the rest of the thing.
Chuck meets Lily at the bar to try and apologize. However, when Lily rejects the apology, Chuck reverts to insults and catches a smack for his trouble. As Lily walks out, it's revealed that Russell Thorpe was watching everything from across the restaurant.
So, on the basis of the last 2 episodes, this whole scene, Robin and I were like, are you fucking kidding me? This is ridiculous. Is this really happening? And we were got. We were 100% got by this scene. Because, oh my God, it would be just like the writers to have Lily be like, oh, I have feelings for him again. And like, oh my God. Fucking Lily. It was just too on brand to like raise any red flags.
Also, it is kind of ridiculous that Lily forgave him so fast.
Yes, yeah. Well, other than the fact that Lily fought so hard for that relationship from the get, that I feel like when you have something like that, and I'll also say just as a parent, that it's just that unconditional forgiveness, that it's just, you said you're sorry, I'm good with it. The other thing is, with Lily in particular, I feel like Lily really understands, like, oh yeah, he thought it was the right business move and cut me out. All right, well played, Charles. Like, I also I think that this is, so much of this is sort of almost a game to Lily. That it's just, oh yeah, I can do anything I want and get away with anything. Oh, I didn't? Well, I'll find something else to get away with. So I think that's why she forgave him so fast, but I do hear your point.
Ben finds Serena in the lobby, who tells him that the party is off, but she still wants to wish Eric a happy birthday. When the couple are discussing alternate plans for the day, Eric walks up behind Serena.
I was concerned that this episode was going to be a bunch of Eric sneaking around stuff. And it wasn't. I really liked that Eric went right to Serena, that he was caught leaving, and the one person that he can count on, even though he can't always count on her, he does trust her. And she is kind of the only person he trusts. So he goes to her and gets her help. Yeah. So I liked that. I really thought this was a great Eric episode too.
Yeah.
I really liked the performance. I liked him having a consequential storyline. It was good.
Chuck gets into a limo with Lily, and it's quickly revealed that their performance at the bar was all a ruse to lure in Russell.
Like I said, we were had. I really liked this little makeup. I really liked that. I do think it is very much like Lily to just, okay, you said you're sorry. I'm over shit. And going along with it and trying to help Charles again. I liked it.
And we get another Rolling Stones reference with Gossip Girl. Can't get no satisfaction. Looks like that's up for debate.
Yeah.
And we roll into Act 2. Back in the lobby, Eric is explaining to Ben and Serena the pickle he is in with Damien. Ben wants Eric to let Lily pay the price and not risk anyone else, but Serena has a plan and tells Eric to uncancel the party.
Again, I liked Connor's performance here, and I really liked where this was, how he roped Serena into it and how they developed a plan together.
And even though I don't necessarily disagree with Ben here, I do like that for once Serena chose her family over the guy.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that as well. And especially because, like, yeah, Ben, her mom fucked you. Like, really bad. She's never not going to be her mom.
And he's not even going after Lily. He just doesn't want other people to risk getting in trouble to protect her.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not that you really disagree with him. Like, he's not wrong. Like, Lily, if anyone deserves anything here, it is Lily.
Yeah.
I completely understand Serena wanting to protect her mom. She did it for her dad, who is a bigger piece of shit, and has, you know, in the 5 minutes he was in her life, fucked up more shit for her, and she was like, oh, I want you to get away.
Although Serena, like 3 episodes, was ready to, you know, turn over her mom to that reporter, but we'll forget about that.
Yeah, but we always do. But then, so it's such the cycle of Gossip Girl too, and it's such the cycle of Serena Vanderwoodson.
Yeah,
where no matter who she is, when she's mad, she will try to burn everything down around you. But the second she's not mad anymore, or the second you tell her not to be mad anymore, or not to look out for someone, and then it's like, oh, well, that's my mom. Serena, maybe your mom deserves it. That's my mom, you jerk. No.
At W, an overworked Blair wants Dan to work for her as an intern, but Dan will only help as a friend if she admits she needs his help.
Cute. Really cute.
Yep.
And really great scene work together. This whole episode, the Blair and Dan scene work was just wonderful. And like you had asked Norman, like that chemistry between Dan and Blair that kind of paralleled season 2 in the carriage, only we get this extended version of this, of that energy.
Yeah. Nate purposely bumps into Raina on the street. Raina's driver is missing, so Nate suggests the quickest way to her destination is through the park.
I'd like to think that Nate got rid of the driver. Not like got rid of the driver, but I'd like to think that Nate was like, oh, hey, you can't park here. Did something to get that driver to move. Because when he said like, oh, you know, it was probably double parked and they ticketed for that and stuff like that, just seemed like Nate does not have that quick of a wit. So either he was sitting on that line for a while, but that car, he had to have had something to do with it, which I really like that too.
And we get another Ivanka Trump reference.
Yes, because she was just meeting with Nate's mom.
Yeah.
And is now going to go meet with Ivanka Trump. Oh, that's right, because the Girls Inc. thing.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. It's funny because I didn't entirely put all of that together just because it was a few episodes ago, but now it's all making more sense.
At the penthouse, Lily is planning the party and also trying to figure out how she and Chuck can get Russell out of the office so Chuck can perform some corporate espionage. Just then, Russell calls Lily and the two set up an immediate date at the Oak Bar.
Yeah, I liked that Chuck. You of all people know I can't call him. Like, he needs to be pursuing me.
Yeah.
And it's also just creepy. It's kind of creepy, but it's also so intertwined in the ethos of the Upper East Side. So I thought it was this really creepy yet meaningful banter between the two of them that, like, if anything, the reason that Lily and Chuck work so well together with their relationship on all levels is because they are the two soulless people on the show. I really think they're the two that have absolutely no actual soul.
Yeah.
And so everything is just come and go. So if you hurt me, okay, cool, I'll get over it. Give me a minute because I don't really feel anything.
What do we think of Lily's choice of party theme?
Yeah.
Seems kind of weird for an 18th birthday.
Well, so, okay, I had that thought, but the other side of it is it's an 18th birthday for a kid who has no friends. So it's like, it's not really for him.
But it's all a bunch of adults there.
That's my point, is that it's like, it's a party to celebrate that Eric is an adult amongst people that are, it is really just another excuse for Lily to hold a social gathering.
But do all those adults want to eat mac and cheese?
Yeah, I mean, weird.
High society people?
Yeah, weird. But I think that it's also a matter of, but it's for my kid. And I'm Lily Vanderwoodson Bass Humphrey. Fuck off. This is the party I'm throwing for Eric, and you will attend, and you will bring him a gift, and you will enjoy this party. Because he has no friends.
Poor Eric.
Poor Eric. Like the friendliest guy on the fucking show. Like the one guy who I want to be friends with on this show.
At W, Blair is still struggling with lack of sleep and just keeps taking on more and more tasks. Dan is still trying to help, all while continuing the snarky banter. Then Serena and Eric enter the office and need Blair's help with the scheme.
I loved this little clip. We need help with this scheme. She doesn't have time. Yes, I do. Like the whole layout there. And Dan, he's like, this has gone from I forget his first movie reference, but to Saw 2. Yeah. Oh, it's gone from Working Girl to Saw 2, and I'm really not in for the gore porn. And walks out.
I don't like refreshments with my theater. Raina is impressed with all the activities of Central Park and admits she hasn't had a lot of time to spend in parks since her mom took off. Nate convinces her to be late for her meeting to learn how to skate.
Raina's the most irresponsible person in the business world. No, I have a meeting. Who cares? Let's go skating. Okay, cool. Flash forward, smoking weed in the apartment like you have a meeting.
To be fair, is with Ivanka Trump, so I doubt it was actually a business meeting. It was more of a social type meeting.
Okay, that is true. That is true. Probably something easily canceled.
Yeah, planning some event or something stupid like that.
Right. It's just also funny that because it's not the first time she's blown off business for dumb shit. And like, the flip side to that is that I love that Raina gives no fucks about other people's schedules and you're on Raina's time because she is set up as this powerful woman. And I really love that. So I do love that she's like, oh, I've got this meeting. And Nate's like, let's go ice skating. And she's like, okay, everyone else's time can fuck off. But it's also, she is kind of irresponsible, but she also, it's because she just forces everybody on her time.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. She's probably, I don't know if she's becomes main cast or if she's just a guest arc like many of them have been this season. She's my favorite guest so far, I think. I cannot think of Cecil. No, it's not Cecil. Cyrus? Cyrus. For a second, I was thinking Cyrus was the Cabbage Patch Kid, but that's
Cedric.
But Cyrus is my favorite, but Raina is a close second. She is spectacular.
Good. And we do get a little bit more backstory here. It's a blink if you miss it moment, but we find out that her mom left.
Yes. Yeah, that
at a very young age.
Yeah. And I thought we had gathered that she left before, that it wasn't death, she had left, but this is where we learn how young she was.
Blair finally admits that she needs Dan's help as a friend and peer and not an underling. As Blair is summoned out of the office, Dan begins to tackle Blair's to-do pile, but the first item he goes to is the sticky note intended for Penelope to pick up the drug flowers.
It was, I loved it. I loved I need the help of Dan Humphrey as a friend and peer and not a minion.
What was that?
It's on my desk, just grab something and start.
Yeah.
And then you get there and the most prominent thing is a big sign saying urgent.
Yep.
And a simple grab anything but the sign that said urgent and everything is now Penelope's problem. But she didn't, but it works. I loved the two of them.
Mm-hmm. This is what Gossip Girl has to say about it. Painting it black has nothing on the trouble one piece of purple paper can cause.
Yep, painting it black. And it's funny because I remember hearing that reference and being like, that seems forced, without the thought of all of these are forced Rolling Stones references.
Yes. And we move into Act 3. Nate and Raina had to return to the Empire because Nate spilled cider on her. Raina discovered Nate's weed stash and is curious as she has never tried marijuana. Nate tries to do what Chuck asked him and attempts to talk Chuck up to Raina. However, Raina would rather continue her day of first with Nate.
Yeah. You know who gets really good weed? And she just pulled a joint out of your pocket, out of your robe pocket, and you're like, you know where I can get better stuff? Chuck. And also Nate, I bet you get pretty good stuff because I bet you get your stuff from Chuck.
Yeah, it's like, why would he be getting bad stuff when he could just get it from his roommate anytime you want?
Right, yeah. But it was also just the way that, again, like Raina being irresponsible. It's just like, oh, there's a joint in your pocket. You know, I never tried this. Let's do it. Let's burn one down right now. I thought that was an odd character choice for anyone. I feel like that is just...
Well, at this point, I think she's already missed the meeting because they already went skating and had cider and came back, got a shower, presumably.
I guess I feel... I have two feelings on this. And the first one is I feel like that's not how people start smoking weed, right? That it isn't typically, oh, I found this. All right, let's do it. I've never done this before. Let's do it. I feel like it's much more of a, you're in an environment and people are like, hey, do you want to try this? Hey, are you interested? You know, I can feel like it's, the flip side to it is, I think that there's, because of a line that he says about peer pressure, Nate says about peer pressure, I think that this was also very specifically not to peer pressure her, not to do the, hey, you want to get high? Hey, because then that sends this different message to the people watching.
Also, I just think most people start to have their first toke much younger age.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's already been to like grad school and everything, been helping run her father's company. So she's like mid-20s at least.
Yeah, she's like early to mid-20s at the latest. So yeah, that is also true that a lot of people.
So, I mean, as she was enjoying doing some new things and found this thing. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah. Let's keep going. I've always told my kids there's a time and place for everything, and that's college.
We get interspersing scenes of Russell and Lily's date and Chuck sneaking into Russell's office to figure out who is backing him. Lily drags out the date until Chuck texts her confirming he got the info.
Oh, Howie. All of this is on Howie's illegal corporate subterfuge. But it was also fun cloak and dagger stuff. No complaints.
The other weird thing is Chuck had to bribe that guy and he scanned the card. So what did Howie even do? Except, I guess, the passwords he got.
Yeah.
Back at W, Blair is dressing down the minions when she realizes that Dan must have gotten the purple sticky note and went to pick up Damien's drugs.
Yeah, I mean, this was the whole realization, but that's, yeah. And a dressing down of the minions, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was also funny.
Dan arrives at the penthouse to deliver the tulips when he gets a call from Ben letting him know that Vanessa is at the loft to see him. Dan is still not ready to forgive or even speak to her. Serena and Eric are surprised to realize Dan is delivering the flowers, but quickly also notice that they are the wrong ones as there's no hidden drugs.
Yeah. Because Eric's going to know what Coke tastes like. Oh, it tastes planty. How do you know Coke doesn't taste planty, Eric? How much have you tasted Coke before?
Well, he had that like 2 weeks where he's hanging out with Damien.
That is true. Here, let's just taste some drugs, just so you know what you're dealing with in the future. I thought that was pretty funny. It also just occurred to me, Emily, the new minion, was here and Melissa Fumero was not, which, you know, I have loved Melissa Fumero. Is she done? Or,
I believe so.
Or does she come back and forth? Or
she might be gone at this point.
Oh, bummer.
We do get Jessica to hang around for pretty much the rest of the series, though.
Yeah, she had kind of indicated that when we met her. Mm-hmm. But yeah, because I'm Emily. She does not have time for names. I meant to bring that up earlier.
Gossip Girl has this to say as we go to the break. Poor E, only 18 and already welcoming all the makings of anyone's 19th nervous breakdown. That was probably the most obscure of the references there.
Yeah. Just read it again.
Poor E, only 18 and already welcoming all the makings of anyone's 19th nervous breakdown. 19th Nervous Breakdown is the name of the song.
19th Nervous Breakdown? Oh, okay. I don't know that one.
Yeah, that's why that was probably like the deepest cut they went.
Yeah, that one went over my head.
We move into Act 4. Blair arrives at the party and is immediately confronted by Dan and Serena, who are upset she used Dan as an unwitting drug mule. Because of her lack of sleep, Blair was suffering from the Stroop effect and wrote purple on the purple sticky note despite meaning pink. Eric walks up and informs everyone that since there are no drugs, Damien says Eric now owes him $100,000. Conveniently, Serena knows that the checkbook for Eric's trust fund is somewhere amongst the birthday presents.
It's funny, when we talked about this previously, I was thinking that Damien was going to be pressuring Eric specifically for his trust fund. And it turns out that it's Serena who's like, oh, 100, I love Dan's like $100,000. Does anybody have that? And they all look at each other like, yeah. Serena's like, oh, your trust fund checkbook. This is an easy fix. Like, oh, $100,000? Why didn't we start there instead of drug muling for these people? Why didn't we just buy $100,000 worth of Coke and sell it ourselves?
Well, like we said, Lily most likely has a slush fund specifically for blackmail.
Yeah.
She's just gone her.
Yes, the silence fund. It's the hush fund.
Chuck finds Rufus and Lily and informs them that Russell's backer is Bradley Kidd and has invited him to the party as he hasn't seen any of the data on keeping Bass Industries intact. When Chuck walks away, Rufus tells Lily that all this double agent business gets his engine revving.
Gross.
I thought they were cute.
They were so cute. They were, and it was like the increasing meaninglessness of Rufus Humphrey on this show. They were cute. He is just like supportive husband now. So they were cute. The flip side of it is, who are you, Rufus? Who are you? Where's the rock and roller who is fuck the man and like who is so anti all of the amorality of the Upper East Side?
Yeah.
And now it's like, landed my lady. That's all I needed. Souls are overrated.
Nate and Raina are playing video games and eating ice cream with potato chips when Nate gets a call from Chuck looking for Raina. However, when Chuck sees Russell arrive at the party, Chuck decides it's better if Nate continues to distract Raina. Raina is no dummy, though, and she realizes that Nate has been purposely trying to talk Chuck up all day.
You noticed that? Wait. How did you see through me? Poor Nate. Oh, Nate, you are the sweetest. Nate, just please don't go into finance because you're destined for your dad's future if you do. Become a therapist.
Lily finds Eric opening presents in his bedroom and calls it gauche. She tells him at least make a list for thank you notes, and Lily returns to the party but is quickly replaced by Blair, who is on the phone with the florist. Blair storms off to find Penelope when she realizes she mixed up Eric and Eleanor's gifts. Serena also leaves when she gets a text from Ben to meet him downstairs.
Of course, Damien shows up. Of course, Serena has to go downstairs to meet Ben. But again, I also thought it was funny. This is where Lily catches them going through the presents too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep a list for thank you cards. But I mean, because it is so tacky to like walk in and they're just like tearing through all these gifts.
I was so excited for a new addition to my stock portfolio.
Yeah. That's right. They lie to her too. And they're like, okay, well, just keep going.
As she is exiting the party, Serena rolls her eyes when Damien gives her a great party. Damien goes into Eric's bedroom and wishes him a happy birthday.
I love Damien in most of this episode.
Yeah.
The audacity and confidence of a rich white man that Damien walks around this party with, again, the zero fucksness of his like, yeah, I'm going to go grab a cocktail. So I know that's later, but just the confidence that he walks around this party is hilarious.
Well, they apparently have zero security because Vanessa also just walks right in with the...
Well, yeah, like I was thinking about that also when Ben shows up later. It's how anyone can just at any time walk into the Vanderwoods and Humphrey Bass apartment.
Yes. Serena finds Ben in the lobby. Ben is upset that Serena is risking others to protect Lily, but Serena is annoyed right back and ditches Ben to go help Eric.
Again, like, I don't think Ben is wrong, but I'm glad Serena is choosing her family and choosing Eric especially.
Mm-hmm. Blair introduces herself to Bryn Harold from the opera board, who is talking with Lily. Lily then breaks off to speak with Russell. Russell says he is there to deliver a gift as an old family friend, but slips in a compliment about Lily's looks as well. Rufus walks up and makes a big scene to scare Russell off.
Loved it. I loved Matt and his peacocking and ruffling, and I loved it. I also felt like that was a cameo. The Blair,
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that felt like a cameo.
Blair doesn't get the interview she was hoping for, but instead gets mocked for wearing mismatched shoes. Bryn Howard seems more interested in meeting Raina. We see Dan observing the conversation in the background.
And it's funny how the shoes are hardly mismatched. If she was at a party, I wouldn't have noticed that, I don't think.
But did you recognize the shoe on the left foot?
Was it from Wizard of Oz?
No.
Oh, no, then I did not.
Well, there's a reason why she probably did mismatch shoes, because the pair is no longer with Blair. She gave it away earlier this season.
Oh?
It's the Roger Vivier buckled pump.
Who did she give her shoes to?
She gave one shoe.
Oh, right. To the
Prince Louis.
To the prince, yes.
And the bowl that she got her mom a Baccarat bowl.
Uh-huh.
The first date that Blair and Louis went on was at the Baccarat Crystal Room.
Yes. So some throwbacks. These types of throwbacks are often foreshadowing. So yeah, that's right. She gave her shoe to the prince as a whole cute Cinderella come find me in New York thing. So okay, that's a really interesting setup there.
As he is leaving the party, Russell sees Brad Kidd arriving and decides to stay when Chuck walks up and thanks Mr. Kidd for accepting his invite.
And Russell, of course, hasn't left yet. So close, almost out the door, and then sees him coming in and decides to stay.
Lily walks in on Eric writing Damien a check for $100,000 and immediately snatches it before Eric can hand it over. The scene cuts with some narration from Gossip Girl and a commercial break.
I liked the snatch. Phrasing, Steve. I like the way that Lily snatched the check. I'm not saying that I liked. Never mind. And now it sets up that this has to come out.
This is what Gossip Girl says as we go to the break. I hear a storm is threatening someone's very life today. Let's hope they find some shelter and it's not behind bars. So we go into Act 5 and Lily assumes Eric is buying $100,000 worth of drugs. And Damien excuses himself to grab a cocktail and some mac and cheese so they can figure out what to do.
Yeah, again, I loved Damien's audacity. Just to be like, you all have something to work out here. I'll be in the other room. Let me know when we've worked out how I'm getting my money. Like, no fucks about Lily. Yeah. Like, not worried about that at all, which is probably arguably the person that you should be the most afraid of. Although also, you can see that Lily probably doesn't necessarily want to start a war with a duke, too. So...
yeah, she would just pay the $100,000.
Yeah, which she does, yeah.
But yeah, Lily's like, what, Michael, what does one drug cost? $100,000?
What does one drug cost, Michael? $100,000? The drugs are in the banana stand.
Going back into the party allows Damien to observe the confrontation between Russell, Chuck, and Mr. Kidd. Russell attempts to paint Chuck as a sad boy who lost his daddy's company to get Mr. Kidd away from the party. But Mr. Kidd decides to stay and hear Chuck out.
I thought that was a nice way to bring that around, that Chuck's schemes often blow up in his face, so it was nice for one that he deserved to win to get the win.
Yeah. Dan is chilling at the snow cone stand when he spots Vanessa and marches over to tell her off. Vanessa has the incredulity to turn Dan's accurate accusations around and walk away from him.
Yeah. First of all, Vanessa, what Dan said on the phone to Ben was, I don't want to see you. I'll get in touch with you when I'm ready to talk to you because I don't want to see you. And when she comes in and has the audacity to be like, oh, so I guess I can't even come back to you either. And Dan was like, remember that time that my sister came forward and you threw her under the bus and then skipped town?
Yeah.
Remember that? So yeah, you really can't come back until I say I'm ready for you. And when he's like, Vanessa, I'm not. When she turned and he's like, Vanessa, I was about to be like, Dan, what are you possibly going to say? I'm not chasing after you. Fuck yeah. Good job. Well, I wouldn't stop if you said you were chasing after me. Get the fuck out, Vanessa.
And then she's bitching about always being an outsider, but she never wanted to be part of the Upper East Side. At least she said she did.
Yeah, she always hated them. She always did everything she could. When Dan went to Constance or to St. Jude, she did everything she could to separate herself from them. She always wanted to be with Dan, but yeah, Vanessa, to this crowd, you're an outsider because you have set that up. Mm-hmm. Be less of an asshole. These people might want to hang out with you.
In the bedroom, Eric has just got done explaining to Lily what he really needed the money for. Lily apologizes and wishes he had come to her first and finally admits that forging Serena's signature was wrong. This allows Serena and Lily to reconcile.
It was nice that they kind of got that, because it's been the whole season that they've been fighting up until now, right? Pretty much?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, since the end of last season, really. So I like that they're finally getting a moment of reconciliation. I like that Lily, it takes accountability and says, this is my problem to handle. I'll pay them off. Essentially, put your $100,000 away, Eric. I'll pay them off. Is that all he's asking for? That's adorable.
Dan finds Blair standing alone in Rufus's office. Dan admits that Blair was right about him trying to avoid Ben and Serena at the loft in an attempt to get her to open up about her competition against Raina. It doesn't work because Blair continues to be in denial despite being reminded of her mismatched shoes. Dan steps out when the new minion shows up to get the bowl that was intended for Eleanor. The minion also lets her know that Jessica went to the wrong class and Blair got an F. She also congratulates a surprised Blair for a great blog post, and through a quick deductive question, Blair realizes Dan must have written the blog for her.
Cute. I loved the whole scene. There's that weird camera shot at one point that there was a tilt angle from the floor when she hands the bowl over, which felt like it was...
I didn't really notice that.
Yeah, it was one of those things that it felt like it was trying to show something, but then nothing came of it. So it was just an interesting camera angle.
But it really shows... I mean, the scene as a whole encapsulates how well Blair and Dan already know each other.
Yes, and how well they work together.
Yeah.
They can really complement each other.
Out on the street, Ben grabs and threatens Damien, and Damien takes the point and hands the check over to Ben. The camera pulls out to reveal that Vanessa saw the whole conversation while waiting for a cab.
Ben, am I to believe that you have contacts that will just kill someone for free for you?
Apparently.
You don't have hitman money. We've established this. You do not have hitman money unless you go through your girlfriend, who would just have her mom do it.
Now, this is I'm taking this more as he's like a gang leader, essentially.
Well, and I had that. So, okay. So he's in prison, and it's like, these guys only stopped beating Howie because I told them to after 10 minutes. Takes a lot less time to kill a person. And I do like the threat of Damien being like, yeah, whatever, bullshit. And he's like, okay, it can be bullshit. Or you can wait wondering every day, the rest of your life, walking down the street, if that person behind you is going to kill me. It is a pretty weighty threat, but I'm just struggling to believe that you have much authority outside of prison. And also, like, you're this mild-mannered, super sweet teacher who goes to prison and becomes a gang boss who starts wielding that kind of power. Is he part of the Aryan nation and we just don't realize? Does he have like some really offensive tattoos underneath his shirts? Is there a reason we haven't seen him shirtless? What power do you have outside of prison, Ben?
I buy the Aryan Nation thing.
Yeah, there's...
But, Steve, this is also a warning to you. Be careful about reading too much Shakespeare.
Yeah. Or yes, exactly.
And Gossip Girl has this to say about it. Turns out what Ben did while doing time wasn't on his side. Now, Vanessa has him under his thumb.
I missed that one. That was
a double one.
That was. I missed that. I missed both of those during the original thing. God damn. Is this where Vanessa sees?
Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, and also just fucking Vanessa.
Always right there.
Yeah, and Vanessa, if you're the reason that this thing ends, it's like, thank you, but also you're such an asshole.
We move into the epilogue. In the lobby, Chuck hands Mr. Kidd a file folder which presumably shows the financials behind keeping Bass Industries intact. Mr. Kidd thanks him and says he'll be in touch either way. Chuck calls Nate to tell him that he's ready for him to bring Raina over. Nate says he can't because Raina figured out his plan and then lies and says she already left. Raina appears to have shifted her interest from Chuck to Nate. Upgrade!
Yeah, it's who in their right mind is like, I need this person to remember they love me. I'm going to get my best looking, most charming, most dreamy friend.
It was not good at subterfuge at all.
Yeah. And and have them take her on dates all day to talk about me. Nate is not the wingman you need here.
No. Someone on the forums pointed out, like, I guess they're like an accountant or something. It said, like, some accountant had to stay late that night to fucking prepare that folder for Chuck to save his daddy's business.
Yeah.
The guests are all gone. Eric, Serena, Rufus, Lily, and Chuck sit down for some cake in the living room and recount the highlights of the night. Despite no Raina, Chuck is happy he got to see Russell's face when Rufus accused him of sleeping with Lily. Serena thought she was having ether flashbacks when she saw Vanessa at the party. Eric comments on Blair's mismatched shoes. Just then, Ben walks in and hands Lily the check and lets everyone know Damien won't be bothering them anymore.
Sure he won't. I also thought it was really funny that he walks in and Lily's like, Ben. And Serena's like, yeah, he's not here, blah, blah, blah. And then he walks in. Then before he leaves, once they have the discussion, what does Lily call him?
Benjamin.
Okay, you are on now full name child basis. Because
yeah,
if Eric had a longer name.
Yeah, Serena pulls Ben aside to thank him for protecting Lily, but Ben says he did it for Serena because he doesn't want anything to stand in the way of the relationship. Serena nods to Ben, waves goodnight to Lily, and then leaves with Ben.
Yeah.
Yay, so romantic.
Yeah, it's great, Ben. Now you can take her across state lines without getting arrested.
Yes.
So enjoy.
Blair shows up to the loft and tells him his blog post was well executed, but not enough to save her job. She admits that he was right about her trying to speedrun life to get back to Chuck out of jealousy for Raina. Blair agrees to stay for pizza as long as it's gourmet.
It was really sweet. I loved the confession and I'm here with Dan Humphrey. He always has to have that stab, and it was just
in
really
Brooklyn, with Dan Humphrey.
Yeah, with Dan Humphrey. I loved it, and they were just really fun together.
Russell is alone in his office drinking dark liquor when his contemplation is interrupted by Damien. Damien offers to give Russell the information about the forged affidavit in exchange for $100,000 and anonymity.
His price is really not high.
Make a profit off it, dude.
Yeah. You look, I just need $100,000. It's like you could walk in there. Russell Thorpe could probably give you 7 figures for the information you have.
But that is the last time we see Kevin Zegers on the show.
Oh, that Damien is
goodbye.
So I was kind of hoping that this would be the end, and then because of that, I was like, oh, well, I guess not. I guess and again, Damien is far from my least favorite character. I think he is top 5 guest stars or, guest roles. I think he's up there with later Georgina. I think he's up there with, not quite with Raina and Cyrus, but a really good for the role he played.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like his time is done.
Yeah.
So I think it's right.
Serena and Ben return to the empty Waldorf apartment and decide to take the relationship to the next level. Before we get the fade to black, the camera pulls out and we see Serena's phone vibrating with Vanessa on the caller ID.
Gross. It was just gross. And awkward again. Like this entire season, whenever there is any kind of sexual encounter, especially once it hits a bed, everyone just seems to be like weird and like weirdly either aggressive or no chemistry in any of it. It's just weird.
Mm-hmm. Dan and Blair are watching the Philadelphia story at the loft. They are laughing and eating pizza, and then we get a short time skip to see them curled up on the couch together, Blair finally getting some sleep as the episode ends.
Fucking adorable.
Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely adorable. I loved them first just kind of very platonically snuggling on the couch. And I've been calling for a romance here, and this feels more edging towards that. But their friendship is also beautiful at this point. I love the friendship that they have developed too. And they were sitting, I had a friend in high school that my mom used to call us kittens. There was no kind of romantic, sexual anything, but she was one of my closest friends, and we would curl up and take naps on the couch all the time. And it really kind of threw me back to that, of them just cuddling very platonically, very safe and friendly. I thought it was adorable.
Now, I forget, have you seen the Philadelphia Story before?
I don't think so.
So the scene they showed was between Katharine Hepburn and Jimmy Stewart. I mean, obviously Blair is the Katharine Hepburn, and Dan is Jimmy Stewart, those two characters do make each other better people, but they don't end up together.
That's really interesting.
Chuck is very much the Cary Grant character, who's the ex that everyone loves. He's fun-loving, likes to drink and party. But there's also a third suitor, who's the current fiance, George, who's kind of boring. He's a teetotaler, literally. So who is going to be the George?
Well, I mean, current cast, there's Nate, who is an option. You see this stuff with Regina happening, but he was always Blair's old standby. But I think it's more likely that something like the Prince would come back in and be the third wheel, essentially. Yeah. That one makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I will say that it's probably a good idea to watch the Philadelphia Story before season 5, because the first half of the season is basically based on the movie.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Just like this one is when Harry met Sally.
Yeah, the second half of this season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, cool. I'll have to watch that.
And this is how Gossip Girl ends the episode. When you do finally get what you want, the problem is there's always someone who's trying to take it away. And all that wanting makes us blind to the fact that things aren't exactly what we think they are. Maybe it's better sometimes to just get what you need. XO, XO, Gossip Girl. That is our episode. What is coming next?
I think that things are going to take a turn with Dan and Blair. I feel like they have to. Any minute now. I've been saying it for weeks, but I feel like it's really kind of... This was episode
16.
16.
I think there's 22 this year.
Out of 22. So we have 6 episodes left. So I think that that'll probably happen by the end of the season, but I feel like that might be something that they want to really lean into next season. I think that we're going to see Nate Raina thing is going to happen, which also means a blow up between Chuck and Nate.
So, again.
Another
recycled plotline.
Yep. And then also just this Russell stuff, and now him having info on Lily. We're going to see how that plays out. I don't anticipate Lily doing any jail time or making any huge concessions, but she might fuck Chuck. I don't know. She might fuck Chuck over. Phrasing, Steve.
Let's get into segments. This week in fandom, we traveled in the Wayback Machine to the Television Without Pity forums from 2011.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman. Hello. Good boy.
Overall impression, most continue to be bored overall.
I get it. I was less bored with this episode than I have been.
I really like the Rufus and Lily stuff. I thought that they were being cute and funny, and I like when they're just having fun and being parents.
Yeah, I liked this episode a lot more than I've liked the most recent episode.
Yeah. And the Bass Industries storyline seems to finally be going somewhere.
Yeah.
Dare continues to be the highlight of the show. Yes.
100%.
They had a lot of hate for Blair's storyline of trying to speedrun just to get Chuck back. Like, it seemed like they were surprised by her reveal when it was told right in the Saints and Sinners party what she was doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree it's a misogynistic story, but why are you just realizing that now?
Yeah, but yeah, it's not like Gossip Girl to not have Blair do this. Like, this is very much, yeah, I agree. It's very much in character.
Nate and Raina are cute.
They are.
Several people have mentioned they haven't watched the show in a while, but came back when they heard about Dare.
Oh, yeah.
Vanessa coming back is lame.
Very lame. I did not miss her. And when she, and she came in for such a nothing part. That she came in really, essentially, the whole thing was just so that she could witness
Ben and
Damien. And why did it have to be Vanessa? Why couldn't anyone have, I don't know.
Because they're still paying her.
Yeah.
As a series regular.
Yep.
The kill off Chuck train is gaining steam.
Wow, really? There's
some people said they wish those muggers from last season had better aim.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of missed the boat on killing Chuck right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they can. He's too intertwined in other stuff. I feel like they could have and kept a really good show if they would have killed him off at the end of season 3.
Yeah, I agree. Serena sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Ben is creepy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They also think Lily forgave Chuck too soon.
Yeah, I think that Lily is equipped to move on from things fast. She just does that all the time. So I think that she just includes Chuck in that. I think that if she had a soul, she might feel longer. But, yeah.
So a lot of people seem to think Dan already has romantic feelings for Blair.
No.
Which I totally disagree. I think he's still pining for Serena, and Blair is more of his Vanessa replacement.
Yes. Yeah. You are 100% accurate. That this is the friend, and a friend that is...
that challenges him.
An equal who challenges him, who will go to the movies and do the artsy movie festivals and will do, she's a better Vanessa.
Yeah.
Which we've also talked before about how she and Vanessa kind of occupy the same roles in other ways. Like, that's why they were competing last season.
And it was a shame because they actually, in the books, they had a friendship run.
Oh, Vanessa and Blair?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That is it for this week in fandom. Let's go ahead and move into episode grades. You went first last week, so I'm going to go first this week. Yeah, I thought this was a much better episode. They brought in the big guns with Sarah Goodman and Norman Buckley, and they definitely pulled this episode up from the previous ones, and I landed at a B+.
Yeah, I had the exact same thing. That I thought some of the end was lame. You're not going to get me on board with Ben. I don't know if you can get to an A while Ben is on the show because his plot line is just inherently so disgusting. Outside of that, I feel like they really captured some classic Gossip Girl stuff, with the exception of also not having everyone meet at the party at the end. Because Nate wasn't there.
Nate was there,
yeah.
Nate's irrelevant.
All in all, I landed on a B+ as well. I thought this was the best episode we've had in a month. Yeah. We do this weekly, folks, so a month for us is an actual month.
Moving over to Stockwatch. Going up, I had Dan, because he was a great friend all episode.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, because he got what he wanted, I guess. So I got to give him an up, even though I don't like him still. Serena, also same thing. She got what she wanted. She was also a good brother to Eric.
Sister to Eric.
Yeah, sister. Lily, because she finally admitted what she did wrong. She helped out Chuck, and she had some fun with Rufus. I also gave Rufus up because he was inoffensive and was just having a good time. I will always give Rufus up when he's just having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chuck going up because he looks like he's turned the tables on Thorpe a bit. We'll see what happens with that when the affidavit news gets out. But at the moment, he's going up. I had Mr. Kid going up because he found out he was getting kind of screwed over a little bit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I had Nate going up because he looks like he's got to do a romance, and same for Raina.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yes.
that is it for going up.
I actually had all of the same ups. I originally had Raina going down for blowing off her meeting, but I'm switching her to an up as well because she did have a great day and has some great.
And she blew off my back of truck, so that's all to back up.
Yeah. And exactly. Did you give Eric an up?
I did not.
I'm going to give Eric an up because he got out from under Damien's thumb for now, seemingly anyway. I'm trying to think if I felt like I was on the fence with Russell because he got played. He also got information at the end, but I think I'm going to leave him either neutral or I might send him down. I'll let you know when it's my turn.
So I actually had Eric and Damien being neutral because they kind of both started in the episode in the same spot they were.
That's fair. I definitely agree that Damien stayed neutral for me too.
But going down, I had Russell because he lost out on the deal. Who knows what's going to come? How he's going to use the information he has? It might blow up in his face. Who knows? Vanessa because she just sucked.
Yep.
Blair going down because she lost her job.
Yes.
And the minions going down because they were screwing up all episode.
Yeah. I had all of the same. And I also want to...
Including Russell?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I am going to include Russell because I am also going to include, because he was mentioned, Howie, because he is the perennial fuck up. And that is part of why he was mentioned so I'm going to give Howie the down as well. And I believe that will be it. Yeah.
But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
Moving over to best outfit. For me, I had Blair's Millie Colette tweed sheath dress with the black leggings that she had at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, nice.
Although I wasn't a huge fan of the silver jacket she was wearing over at W.
Right.
Not a big fan of shoulder pads.
No, yeah, they just look, well, you know how they look.
Yeah.
They just look weird. I'm giving it, I very rarely give it to her, but I'm giving it to Serena that had that like polka dot sort of thing happening underneath that like sort of silver shawl, I want to say. So I'm going to give it to Serena in this one for having a very tactful dress for her brother's party.
Yes. That is it for segments. Do you have anything you want to plug this week?
I don't think that this is going to come out before my next gig. So as of right now, it's just check out my TikTok, steve.marchon, Marchion. That's my TikTok. That's my Instagram. Go ahead and find me there and keep in touch with what I do have coming up.
And so to this week, this past week of recording this, Cary Tagawa, the actor, passed away. So I'm going to go ahead and recommend the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. Also fitting that it is the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
But he was also, so he played Shang Tsung. Okay. Even if you haven't seen that movie, I'm sure you've seen Your Soul Is Mine.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen the important clips.
But I think it's actually a pretty decent movie for the time. It's definitely the best of the video game movies of that era.
Okay.
It's super campy.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if I have seen parts of it or if I've seen it really inebriated. I believe maybe a little combination of the two.
But yeah, I mean, Cary Tagawa was definitely a highlight of it. He nailed the role, and apparently he's a really nice guy. I heard a story this week about how he agreed to star in some guy's student film.
Oh, nice.
But he's also been in stuff like he was in Man in the High Castle. He was in Revenge with Connor Paulo for 8 episodes.
Oh.
He's also in the movie Johnny Tsunami.
Okay.
Disney Channel movie about surfing.
Okay. I've heard of it. I think, was that from like the
99?
late 90s. Okay.
But that is it for my plugs. But if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Hot Capicola. That's HOTCAPICOLA. And if you want to follow the podcast, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. You can also find links to our Discord server, our Patreon, and our subreddit on our website, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
And if you'd like to get in touch with us, we would love to hear what you have to say. And when we get the chance, we'll even read your email here on our show. Send us that email at nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear what you have to say. Also, while you're listening, if you could go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, that follow button, and go ahead and leave us some comments on what you're thinking when you're hearing this. Those comments really help our visibility in Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And finally, go ahead and let your friends know what you're listening to. Tell the people at work, tell the people that you hang out with, or tell the people that you just kind of like what you're listening to, and make us your new water cooler talk.
And we will be back next week to talk about Season 4, Episode 17, Empire of the Sun. The episode description reads, Ben's mother comes to town, forcing issues to the surface between Ben and Serena.
Oh, Jesus. Good. Can they force the issue of, this is really fucking weird, and you shouldn't be dating the person who sent you to jail? Well, the person who sent you to jail's daughter, who sent you to jail for dating this person, even though you weren't really dating her, but you kind of were, just not calling it that. Yeah. Grooming, you were, sorry you groomed my daughter.
Until next time, you know you love us.
XOXO.
Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there.